Hello everyone, very warm welcome to ITLS Academy. Our today's lecture is conjunctival discharge test. First of all, we will see why we perform this test or what is the aim of the test. First point is an etiological diagnosis of bacterial conjunctivitis by aerobic cultivation with identification and susceptibility test of the isolated bacteria. Here, the aim was to objectively evaluate the reactivity to specific allergens at the mucosal surface. Next point is the conjunctival test, also known as conjunctival allergen challenge, that is CAC. It is a conjunctival provocation test used to evaluate the inflammatory effects on the external ocular surface after the topical applications of an allergen in a presumed sensitized patient. Ophthalmologists are skilled at identifying and helping people manage this common condition. Next point is conjunctivitis, also known as a pink eye. Pink eye is another name for the conjunctivitis and is a condition in which the protective membrane that lines the eyelid and covers the outer surface of the eye called the conjunctiva and it becomes inflamed, and inflammation of this particular covering, this protective covering, results in a pink color of the eye, and this pink color of eye results in conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis can affect people of any age. It tends to spread easily among people who work or live together. Next point is there are several different causes of conjunctivitis and our ophthalmologist can experience at identifying them. So these are symptoms and aim of the test. If you have any symptoms, see your ophthalmologist as soon as possible. Here comes what is the specimen in the case of conjunctival test. So let's see. The specimen is discharged from the eye. In the case of conjunctivitis, there is a continual discharge from the eye and this discharge is taken as the specimen. Criteria of specimen rejection. First point is inappropriate specimen transport device mislabeled specimen, unlabeled specimen, and specimen received after prolonged delay. This delay can be usually more than 2 hours. Here, specimen received an expired transport media. These conditions, if specimen is in any of these conditions, then there is a higher chance to rejection of specimen, and these conditions are unlabeled specimen, so there must be a label on the specimen packaging. Specimen must be received at proper time. If there is any delay or there is prolonged delay, then there are a higher chances for the rejection of specimen. And the last but not least, specimen must not be expired. Specimen must reach the laboratory in appropriate time. Next point in criteria of specimen rejection is your ophthalmologist can rule out many cause of conjunctivitis simply by asking about your symptoms and how they came about. He or she also asks whether you have been in close contact with other people who have conjunctivitis and if any irritant has come into contact with your eye. This is an overview for the conjunctivitis. This is divided into three parts. First you can see installation, second one is symptoms, and third one is analysis. Let's see them one by one. In the when test is performed, there are three stages. In first stage, 100 units per ml specimen is taken. In second stage, 1000 units per ml taken, and in third stage 10,000 units per ml taken. In first stage, after the test, if this is positive, then we further move to symptoms and analysis. And if this is negative, then we go on second stage. In second stage, test is done with 1000 units per ml, while in the case of stage 1 there were 100 units per ml. So if test is if test first test is done with 100 ml per 100 units per ml, if the test is positive, then we will go for further analysis. But if the test is negative, we will go with a test with second stage, that is 1000 units per ml. In the second stage, if this test comes positive, then we will go for further analysis, and if this test comes negative, we will go for third stage test. In the third stage test, we use a large amount, and this is 10,000 units per ml. And there are most probably chances that if you have a stage 3 test as negative, then you don't have conjunctivitis, and if you have third stage test positive, you will go for further analysis. Let's see, if it comes positive, then what is the analysis of procedure. This is reaction. If your test comes positive, then these are symptoms that symptoms were seen. Like this is, you can see that this is like pink eye. Pink color is spread throughout the eye. So when comes positive, you go for further analysis, and analysis include point 1, investigator, and investigator includes composite score and reactivity score. Investigator reads these two scores, that is composite and reactivity score. After this investigation, there is second point, that is external observer. External observer includes redness score. You can see this is a redness of eye, and this redness is measured by external observer. Third one is digital analysis. These two are outer analysis or external analysis. Next comes digital analysis. Digital analysis includes red pixel in ROI. So this was a brief overview how the test of conjunctivitis is done in laboratory. Here comes causes of conjunctivitis. What are the major causes for which conjunctivitis can occur? So first point is there are several different causes of conjunctivitis, and our ophthalmologists are experienced at identifying them. If we have a conjunctivitis, then there will be several different symptoms. We cannot experience them, but our ophthalmologist can easily experience them and can easily identify them. So if you have any symptoms, see your ophthalmologist as soon as possible. Next is viruses that cause colds are the most common cause of conjunctivitis. So we can say that cold causing viruses, that is the cold causing viruses that are included in something like fever and hotness of the body. So these viruses are most common in the case of conjunctivitis. Like other mucous membranes such as nose and ears, the conjunctiva in your eye is vulnerable to infectious agents. Our eye is very vulnerable to infectious agents and viruses. Although our body has a very high level of defense system, and most of the time any virus or any antigen attacking the body is removed, but when there is a high concentration of that particular antigen, it will be able to cause disease. We can say that viral conjunctivitis typically begins in one eye but can easily spread to the other eye. The condition can remain contagious for up to 2 weeks, but it tends to go away on its own within a few days or up to 2 weeks. Next point is bacterial conjunctivitis is common in adults and is usually caused by Staphylococcus and Streptococcus bacteria. We are discussing the agents that are responsible for causing conjunctivitis, in which we have discussed viruses and now we are discussing bacteria. We will see also allergic conjunctivitis. So, in the case of bacterial conjunctivitis, the agents are Staphylococcus and Streptococcus, while in the case of viruses, the agents were cold-causing organisms. So here, like the viral form, bacterial conjunctivitis is highly contagious. Most strains of bacterial conjunctivitis are mild and easily managed, but some strains can lead to serious eye problems if they are not treated right away. For example, gonococcal conjunctivitis is caused by the same bacterium that leads to the sexually transmitted disease like gonorrhea. These bacteria can penetrate the cornea, or these can easily enter the cornea. And cornea, what is cornea? So, cornea is the clear surface that covers the front of the eye. We can say that if it is our eye, it looks something like this. This is our retina part and this is our lens. So here outer covering the whole eye, protecting it, this protective layer is known as cornea. The protective layer behind the eye is known as cornea. Next point is allergic conjunctivitis. We have already studied viral conjunctivitis and bacterial conjunctivitis. Here it is allergic conjunctivitis, which is not contagious, while previous both were contagious. Viral and bacterial both were highly contagious. But in the case of allergic conjunctivitis, it is not very contagious and it occurs when the conjunctiva has an inflammatory response to certain allergens such as pollen, dust, mold, or pet dander. When you are exposed to these allergens, your body releases a chemical called histamine. Histamine is a chemical which is released in the case of allergy. In the immunology, we have studied that IgE or E antibody is responsible for the allergic responses. In the case of allergy, this IgG, this immunoglobulin activates and release histamine, heparin, serotonin that are the main agents that fight against any allergy. So, whenever you are exposed to allergens, your body releases histamine by the influence of IgE, and this histamine uh, in turn cause redness, tearing, and itching in the eye. Although this can irritate you, that is redness, tearing, but this is the process of body's defense. This is the part of body's defense system, because I want to recover the things that have gone wrong. So there is redness, tearing, and itching in the eye. Many of these allergens occur only at certain times of the year or in specific environments. Other allergens, including cigarette smoke and pet dander, can irritate your eye year round. Symptoms of allergy related conjunctivitis include intense itchiness and sting like mucousy, clear or white discharge. Next point is, if you are exposed to smoke, chemical fumes, or other irritants, you may develop a type of conjunctivitis that is not contagious. Common eye irritants include second-hand cigarette smoke, smoke from a fireplace or a wood-burning stove, and chlorine. Symptoms include redness, burning, pain, and tears. Here comes pre-specimen processing. First one is specimen collection. The first point is, in specimen collection, pull down the lower eyelid so that the lower conjunctival fornix is exposed. This is the very first step in pre-specimen processing. Next is swab from the fornix without touching the rim of the eyelid with the sterile cotton swab. Next point is, place the swab immediately in a bacterial transport medium, or if the specimen is brought to the laboratory, immediately in a sterile test tube with 0.5 milliliter of buffered saline at the pH of 7. Quantity of specimen must be sufficient amount on swab. Time relapse before processing at the sample is eye specimen. Eye specimen should be processed immediately because tears contain lysosome which may kill the organism. Let's see what is specimen processing. First of all, we need media. Media may be a blood agar, chocolate agar, McConkey agar, and fruit thioglycolate. If you want to learn this media, just want to memorize all these test media, then I am telling you that in most of the tests, these four medias are common, so you can easily learn and you can apply. And most of the time, the media are like blood agar, chocolate agar, McConkey agar, and fruit thioglycolate agar, although exceptions may exist. Let's see the culturing procedure. Often, your ophthalmologist can diagnose conjunctivitis simply by examining your eye. Based on your symptoms, he or she can usually determine whether the inflammation is due to a viral or bacterial infection. He or she may perform the following test to confirm a diagnosis. Here it is a diagram is given in which you can easily see what is the process of diagnosis. First of all, here comes sterile body fluid. Gram staining is done, and after gram staining, processing is done in these four media, that is blood agar, chocolate agar, McConkey agar and thioglycolate. Specimen processing. First was result reporting. Result reporting. First point is report gram staining findings as an initial report. And the second point is report the isolated pathogen and its sensitivity pattern as a final report. Next was turnaround time. Point 1 is gram stain results should be available 1 hour after specimen receipt. If trachoma is suspected, conjunctival scraping should be smeared. Next point is isolation of a possible pathogen can be expected after 2 to 3 days. Negative culture will be reported out 1 to 2 days after the receipt of the specimen. Onto a microscopic slide, air dried and fixed in absolute methanol. Some additional informations are given over here. All bacteria isolated in a fair amounts and not resembling contaminants will be identified and tested for antibiotic susceptibility, including susceptibility to chloramphenicol. Chlamydia antigen detection system are available for this purpose. Next point in additional information is doctors also check to see if conjunctivitis has affected your vision by conducting a visual acuity test. This test checks to see how well you can read letters or symbols from 20 feet away while covering one eye at a time. Next point is if you have had conjunctivitis for more than 2 or 3 weeks and it has not gone away on its own or with the help of home treatments, your doctor may want to perform an eye culture. During this test, your doctor takes a sample of the cells on the inside of your eyelid with a cotton swab and sends it to a laboratory to be examined by pathologist. Next point is a pathologist who studies disease under a microscope can determine whether your conjunctivitis is caused by virus or bacteria. This helps your doctor determine the most effective treatment. Thank you very much for watching this session, and again sorry for the interruption in video. Guys, you can follow ITLS Academy on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp and on LinkedIn. And you can subscribe ITLS Academy for latest video updates. Thank you very much again.